Hey everyone, I had a player from Spain reach out to me and wanted me to look at his serve and see if there's anything he could do to improve upon it. And so I thought I would take this time to compare to a player we all know, Roger Federer, and also see if anyone else wants to add their comments. This guy's very highly motivated, and I think that he's already got a great serve, and there's not a ton that he needs to do to change things. But I'm just going to kind of go over the basis of what a good serve would look like, in my opinion, and see if anyone else wants to add theirs as well. So the first thing I'm going to look at before we get into the service motion is, this is like getting ready to hit the ball, right? So the first thing I would look at is how wide of a stance there is. Now, not necessarily that important, but I feel I've done both ways of putting my feet together and then doing more of a platform serve. And I like the platform serve way more because I can bend my knees a lot better. Having my feet too close together really makes it unstable and inconsistent. And, one thing you want is a consistent serve. So that might be something to think about if you're getting height and reaching up on your serve well enough or not. Try to have maybe a wider stance, okay? The next thing I might look at is the wrist, since it's kind of right in front of us. How loose is the wrist? Because when you really want to whip through the ball, you're going to have a loose wrist. So that wrist better be super loose when you're serving. So kind of keep that in mind as well. The next thing I would kind of look at is that shoulder. So the shoulder is kind of pointed up here, right? But if you want to look at a big server, we're going to actually focus on the elbow position. So we want that elbow position to not be tucked in too much to your ribs. You want it out a little bit further so you can create basically you want to really stretch. I always try to stretch my my right arm away from my left arm and really be able to create some leverage on the ball. Now, if you want to look at what that kind of looks like, you can see Roger's he's a little bit of ahead of the player at the top that's about to hit it, right? So he's already stretching out, but you can see that right arm is really stretched out. That can allow for some easy pace on the ball, okay? So the other stuff kind of goes with the swing, so we can kind of start here and then kind of get to our position of, like where that player is. Now, both players here have a really good take back with the racket. So the racket was way back, which is great. Good flexibility, kind of like how Roger has as well. So I like that a lot. The one thing that I think he could get a little bit better on with the serve here is creating more of a whipping sensation with your body. So you can't really tell in this angle, but I'm guessing the player here doesn't have a really long, like a C position. So if you see a strong server, they're going to stick out their hip they're going to stick that hip out at the server right before they serve, and then they pop it back the other way, and that allows you to get a lot more pace. So that C formation, so when you make that toss and you leave the ball leaves your hand when you toss, you should have like a C, someone looking at you from the side, you should be able to see that angle. So then you can really use your body a little bit more and not just your arm, okay? The next thing we're going to look at is the contact point. Now, you can't really tell the contact point in this picture, but I can tell by the landing, right? So when we look at this and I freeze where the landing is, right? The player that, is going to have a really good, power on their serve, they're going to land into the court extremely well, right? And I really feel like you can test yourself. Toss that ball way more in front of you so you can get that foot to land more into the court, right? So if you get that ball to land, your foot to land more into the court, you're going to really have some good opportunity to to put some more pace on the ball, put your body into it, right? And get more effortless power. Now, Roger's warming up his serve, so it's not the greatest example here, but he would be into the court as well with his bigger serve when he's really hitting it. And the last thing I want to mention is after the serve. So you can see that Roger's serve, or his momentum, goes right where he hit it, right? But if you look at this player's kind of going this way. Now, it might be just kind of a random, thing where, you just kind of do that. But I think this is kind of intentionally like a habit that you produce. So you want to start serving and getting in position so your weight isn't going in one direction. You want to be ready for the next shot. And, so I would work on jumping on that, like after you land, you're centered. Is your momentum going towards your target or away? So you're losing a lot of mass. I'd get your body to go right into it, okay? So those are the things I see. Let's see if anybody else can add to it, and I'm sure we can get this player to even have a bigger serve than he already has. So thanks for watching, and any comments would be appreciated. All right, thanks. Hey guys, I've been really stoked about the progress a lot of the clients I've been working with have made on their tennis game. And then it's not just getting on the tennis court. I've been working a lot with players in a remote fashion, especially with COVID. And I want to see if anybody would be interested in chatting with me and seeing what we could do together in whatever way feels comfortable. But I really feel like the knowledge and the system I have in place could get you to the level you desire. So check it out on the description, and hopefully we can chat.